Good afternoon. Today I'm going to bring a little bit of wapixana cosmogony. This portion is in courtesy of Povos Indígenas no Brasil, or Indigenous Peoples of Brazil, a nonprofit organization, and I want to talk about a little bit about the wapixana ideology of language, as noted in some of their own words. The cosmogony, or creative force, in the beginning, says the wapixana, when the sky was close, everything spoke. It was puri, magic. Sky and earth were undifferentiated at that time. So too the beings who inhabited them, since they all spoke just one language. The original world was above all mutable, and the power to shape it was found in words. In the past, people spoke and things changed. Everything now is already made, they say. Effective and creative, words provoked constant transformations, which gave the world the appearance that it still retains today. Waterfalls, rivers, and mountains were created in verbal battles between the demiurges. The past, though, is irremediably lost. The world as we know it today is the inverse of this original plasticity. The world is ready and hard, they say, resisting human intervention. This, the wapixana explain, is because speech lost its productive power. Originally a property of all speech, its magic today is only manifested within ritual discourse. Today's world is a result, therefore, of the rupture of a primordial order, a rupture that differentiated time and space and led to the emergence of the different species. This speciation, in turn, was based on an uneven distribution of speech. It was lost by many species, the basic reason for them turning into other species, or, as the wapixana prefer to say, into other qualities, making articulate speech an attribute almost exclusive to humanity, distinguishing them from the other beings who populate the world. Thus, from the wapixana point of view, articulate speech is what makes humans human. Uduruna, the vital principle. Uduruna is the principle found in speech, in blood, and in breath. Proof of this, the wapixana say, is that when we die, we become all pale and cold. In contrast to breathing and speech, blood is a transmitted and shared component of people. For the wapixana, blood is obtained through transmission. We receive it from our father and mother in equal portions. It is also shared. An individual's siblings, parents, and children possess the same blood. The limits of consanguinity are defined by this group, limits explicitly referred to as sontokan, my tips. A tip is like a shoot born from the same plant. Breathing is a personal component of the soul, acquired only when we leave our mother's womb and breathe in for the first time. To some extent, breathing is associated with the value of speech, an association that becomes clearer in the context of magic. Blowing, magic, and speaking are homologous acts which provoke the same effect of enchantment, since both are aspects of the soul. Blowing and speaking indicate that the basic attribute of the soul is lightness. The soul blowing and speaking combined in magic, can still restore the creativity of the original speech in humans, its power to transform the world. Speech, in turn, from the wapixana viewpoint, is intimately connected to the soul. Its existence in humans singularizes them and prevents them from losing their identity among the dead, among the things of the world. Another indicator of the human life is the hoarse, inaudible murmuring of the dead, whose unintelligibility is synonymous with death. Speech is also a key principle of reason. Small children are called ma-doronan, a term which literally means soulless, because they do not yet speak. For the wapixana, this also implies that children lack discernment. Children have no judgment, a fact that excuses their misbehavior. Both speech and discernment develop during the process of the individual's socialization, culminating in their full sociability. Hence, at its peak, the faculty of speaking completes the adult person as someone capable of dialoguing with his or her peers. The term ma-doronan also applies to those who are out of control, whether drunk or consumed with anger or rage, resentment or passion. Such people act erratically and avoid speech and dialogue, or proper speech. Speech is a strictly personal principle. To form a child, the parents contribute the blood. Breath and speech comes from the child itself. We teach the child how to speak, but our udorona cannot make the other speak. The ability to speak has to be developed socially. Children are taught to speak. Although this fact may seem obvious and commonplace, it is symbolic to the wapixana, given the equivalence that they make between speech and the soul. Teaching a child to speak is a process of humanization, only attained with full sociability. In addition to being personal, speech is an accumulative principle that only reaches plenitude in old age, when, for the wapixana, we are more soul than body. This conception includes knowledge, a necessary component of oratory skill. Speaking well is the corollary of wisdom, which only exists in direct proportion to soul. In sum, for the wapixana, speech, as a correlate of the soul, is the central value in the definition of the human. Refined thinkers, the wapixana, do not postulate that the soul inhabits a bodily container, or even that it is located in an image to which we are accustomed. It is a specific part of the body, such as the heart or head. Udorona is the vital principle, properly speaking, a force that moves and animates us. Indissociable from the body, udorona is the dynamic principle that confers movement, autonomy, and will. Its existence is also visible in the strongest shadows cast by ourselves in the sunlight.